The Bank of International Settlements is out with a new report on whether central bank digital currencies would be useful for foreign exchange transfers. Joining us now to discuss is CoinDesk Global Policy and Regulation Managing Editor Nick Day, who is also the editor of CoinDesk State of Crypto newsletter. Okay, Nick, tell us about this 6-week pilot project.
Good morning. Yeah, so last night / this morning, the BIS put out a new report detailing this pilot project, which involved 4 central banks, 20 commercial banks, as well as the BIS itself, basically trying to see what happens if they actually tested a multi-CBDC project and transferred money around between banks, between countries. Honestly, it's a very fascinating report. Regardless of your views on CBDCs, it's really interesting looking at some of the policy questions that the group was looking at. Some of the questions about, for example, how do you handle foreign exchange payments and liquidity questions that arise when you are transferring or transacting in another country's currency. They, over the course of the 6 weeks, which became, progressively more complex, the BIS and the group transferred up to about $22 million worth of payments across 160 transactions. And again, they involved 20 different commercial banks just basically transacting with each other over the course of this period.
So is this going to be the end of my old industry, foreign exchange trading?
I suspect it's probably safe for quite a bit longer. The report said that this is a pilot. They teased it last month, but 20 banks, it's a lot for a pilot. It's not a lot in the grand scheme of things. The next steps are, they're taking place over the next 2 years. Questions include things like price discovery and, for the purposes of this experiment, they still had to tap Nostro accounts, which I think if you're trying to do a multi-CBDC project, you want to move away from that, but they haven't been able to do that yet. They had a centralized ledger, which, one of the goals is to distribute it later on. So a lot of work to be done before this is something that, I think we can see operationalized as an actual thing for central banks and banks to use.